The reason I want to talk a little bit about that today is because we live in a world where the food industries are great at marketing, and they want to make you believe that some of the things that you're eating are super healthy. And at the end of the day, quite frankly, they're not. And so, you see a lot of boxes and packages and things like that these days that really make the product look super healthy, and it's the last thing you want to put in your body. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And so the first tip that I have for you guys today is, if you're not already doing this, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I really, really, really want you to focus on starting to read labels. It is so imperative to your health moving forward. Reading labels is going to give you the knowledge that you need moving forward, and knowledge is power, okay? And when it comes to nutrition, there is so much information out there that it can often become super overwhelming, and the last thing you want to do when you're trying to lose weight or better your health is become overwhelmed, because it's very easy to throw in the towel and give up. That's the last thing I want you to do. You don't need to throw in the towel. You don't need to give up. There are very simple solutions to get your health back on track. You just have to create a plan and follow that plan, okay? So when I'm talking about reading labels, the things I really want you to pay most attention to, and I'm not going to tell you that any of these one things are super evil, but when you're trying to control calories, weight loss is all about calories in and calories out. Don't let anybody else fool you, because that's the bottom line, okay? So when you're trying to talk about weight loss, or you're trying to focus on weight loss, the things I want you to start paying close attention to on labels are obviously sugar, which we all know is evil. That one I will say is evil. The more sugar that you can eliminate from your diet starting today, the better you're going to feel, the better your health is going to be, the more weight you're going to lose, the more inflammation you're going to eliminate from your body. That is ingredient number one that you want to pay close attention to. Anytime you have an option, if you're looking at 2 or 3 different products, always buy the one with the least amount of sugar. That also goes for sugar alcohols and some of the protein bars and some of that kind of stuff that's out there today. They decrease the sugar and load it up on sugar alcohols. So that's one that I want you to pay attention to too. So I'm not going to give you too many things to focus on. But when it comes to weight loss, sugar, carbohydrates, and I'm not calling carbs evil. Carbs are not evil, guys. And if you subscribe to any one diet, I'll save the diet thing for another video, but I'll just give you a little blurb on that. If you subscribe to any one diet, whether it be keto, paleo, low carb, low fat, caveman diet, when you're trying to find the magic diet like that, it's just probably going to set you up for failure. Now, I tell you this, a lot of people have success with keto, a lot of people have success with paleo, a lot of people have success with low carb diets, and they do work, but you have to follow them. You have to be consistent. I'm going to ask you this, and you just answer this in your own mind. How many times have you tried a different diet and you tried it for 2 weeks and you gave up because it was too hard to follow? That's what I want you to keep in mind when we're talking about diets. And again, I'll save that for another clip, because I think you guys will get a lot of value when I cover each diet. And I'm not going to go in depth on each diet. I'm just talking about diets as a whole, because the thing that I emphasize with my clients is I want them to eat real foods, and I want to bring that same value to you. And so you should never have to be super restrictive on the things that you're eating in order to get results. There's a simple process that you just have to follow. And so sugar, carbohydrates, the other big one, and this is more of a general health concern, is sodium. Those are the 3 main things. Don't worry too much about fat. If it's trans fat, absolutely. But the key is not buying a lot of stuff that comes in a package. Okay, and that's my next tip, is that and I'm sure you've heard this before, if you haven't, please listen to this. Think of it as the healthy you. And when I say you, I'm talking about the letter U, okay? You see, that's a U. When I'm talking about a U, think of the perimeter of the grocery store. I want you to start focusing on shopping the perimeter of the grocery store. Stay off the aisles, guys. That's where all the poison's at. There's no reason for you to be buying many things off the aisles. Now, there are some exceptions. If you're going to buy brown rice or quinoa or something like that. Or, you know, there are some healthier cereals, some of the Kashi cereals that are lower in sugar and higher in protein. I don't encourage anybody to start the day off with cereal. That's just one of my methods. But there are some exceptions, you know, if you're going to buy beans or salsa or, you know, the whole grain or whole wheat tortillas or bread. A lot of that stuff comes off the aisles. But for the most part, I want you to shop the perimeter of the grocery store and get that ingrained into your brain. I'm telling you, that's where the value's at. That's where you're going to get most of your healthy foods. And again, there are exceptions. And you know, there's no exact science to this. I'm just saying, generally speaking, shop the perimeter of the grocery store, okay? But you need to really get in the habit of reading labels, guys. I cannot stress how important that is. You need to read labels. Knowledge is power, but here's the thing. The more aware that you can become about what you're putting into your body, the better chance you have at making more informed decisions moving forward, making more informed decisions today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, that are gonna set you up for success for the long haul, okay? That's what I want. I want to give you actionable steps. Okay, I could sit here and hand you a meal plan, hand you a workout and say, hey, get to work. And what are you going to do with those? They're probably going to sit on the counter for a week or two. They might end up in the trash. They might even end up in the recycle bin. The dog ate your homework, whatever. Those aren't actionable steps. So I want you guys to think on the level of being able to implement things. So reading labels, watching out for specific ingredients, the sugar, the amount of carbohydrates, and the amount of carbohydrates, I only say that for this reason, is that if you're looking at two products and one of them has 35 grams of carbohydrates and one of them has 22 grams of carbohydrates, and they're equally, in your mind, they're equally appealing, always buy the one with the less carbs. That just means less calories for you guys. You know, again, weight loss is about calories in, calories out. Don't try to overcomplicate it any more than that. When you overcomplicate things, you overwhelm yourself. And if you're in a position right now where you need to lose a lot of weight, the last thing you need is more overwhelm. It's only going to make you give up. It's only going to make you throw in the towel. It's only going to make you look for that next magic pill, that next magic diet, the next fad diet. None of that stuff works, guys. So there is no magic pill. And I'm not telling you it's not going to be hard. There are going to be times that are very challenging. You might be in a really stressful situation right now and just not know where to start. If you don't know where to start, just start following these simple tips that I'm giving you guys. You can check out my YouTube channel. I think I have a lot of good information there. I'm going to continue to upload my videos there. It's Dad Bod Health. Don't let the name scare you. It's appealing to women too. My clients are mostly men. I do work with women as well, so I provide a lot of the value for men, but a lot of this stuff appeals to women as well. And so I want you guys to get a lot of value out of these. And so going back to the original question, it's how to know what foods to choose and how to know what's healthy. Well, if you follow those simple tips, read labels, shop the perimeter of the grocery store, most of you guys know what's healthy. And what you need to do is start finding ways, look up recipes that include healthy foods. Go to some of the reputable sources. Go to eatingwell.com or cookinglight.com and get some recipes that appeal to you and start trying new things. Here's the issue, is that you become overwhelmed. You're not open to trying new things because you think the next thing's just not going to work. So if you start thinking outside the box, get out of the little box that you've been living in, the world of overwhelm, and start thinking beyond that. Start trying to implement some of the things that I'm talking about, some of the tips that I'm going to bring you here. I'll leave you with this. I encourage you right now, starting next week, find 3 to 4 meals that can become go-to meals for you on a weekly basis. If you have 3 to 4 healthy meals that appeal to you, I'm not telling you to force yourself to eat anything that you don't like. I mean, nobody wants to do that, and that's not what I'm encouraging you to do. But if you can find 3 to 4 meals that can become go-to meals and can become consistent meals in your weekly routine, we're creatures of habit. We all eat a lot of the same things. A lot of people in this group might be eating a lot of the same wrong things. So find 3 to 4 meals that can become consistent go-tos for you. You can always change it up. For me, that's going to be salmon or steelhead trout, sweet potato or quinoa or black rice, and then a vegetable. It could be broccoli, it could be cauliflower, it could be asparagus. And I use those meals several times a week because they're very healthy, and I can always change it up. I can change the seasoning on the vegetables. I can change whatever the starch or carbohydrate source that I'm utilizing, like the black rice, the sweet potatoes, the purple potatoes or the darker potatoes, black rice, quinoa, brown rice, all those healthy carbohydrate sources. You can always be changing that up. You can change your protein source up, whether it's a lean beef, fish is great, any kind of fish, chicken. I encourage you to find some of those things, some go-to meals, because you can always change the seasoning, you can change the marinade, you can change the vegetable. You can always keep those in your rotation and change them up a little bit so you don't get bored of the same foods. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm going to continue to bring value to this group. If you know someone that could benefit from listening to this, please share it with them. You check out my YouTube channel. Again, it's Dad Bod Health. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm very quick to respond to most questions. You can get me on private messenger most of the time. You can go and follow me on my Facebook feed, Jason Priest, and I'll be glad to connect with you guys. But what I want you to do is start implementing some of the things I'm talking about. I'm telling you guys right now that this will help you a lot moving forward. I want you to start thinking simple and not complex. And I want you to work smarter and not harder. Okay? Those are the things that you need to start thinking about, because last thing you need to do is be overwhelmed, guys. I'm telling you right now. Overwhelm is a recipe for disaster. So simplify your life. Start thinking about things that I'm talking about. If you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them.